Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Real Talk with Coach Sherri. Whew. I actually tried to make this video before and I just got ultra emotional. Thankfully, a really good friend of mine out on the West Coast called me. I was on her mind. She knew what I was going through and just had a very good conversation with her, and she got me to refocus and plant my feet firmly. Life is so fleeting. The circle of life is never easy. I met a woman 2.5 years ago. Her and I started where I currently am at the same exact time, same day, everything. And I worked closely with her for these 2.5 years. Just trying to keep it together. I've never met anyone like her before. I used to tell my family she was one of the nicest people I've ever met. Just something about her was just, I don't know, it was just something about her that was different. She was very giving. She would get people gifts and things that they needed. For every occasion, she had a present, even the simplest occasions. And, when she knew that people in our workforce development programs were having a challenge with their children, she'd get them books, clothes, whatever kind of resource that they needed. She was definitely right there to help and to support them in that way. She definitely was a giver. Giving was her love language. And unfortunately, I didn't always appreciate it because I just am uncomfortable when people, do a lot of giving. And I don't know, I just always think it's something else to it. But that was really just who she was. So since we've been at the stay-at-home order, in the mornings, she would send our team emails, kind of like um, motivating, positive emails. And here lately, her emails have been a little different. Um, just things that make you question what was going on with her, what were her thoughts. And Tuesday, because she was part of the team, we always had team meetings, periodically throughout the week, as well as committee meetings. And I'm at the park, you guys, so if you hear kids in the background, that's what you hear. But we would have team meetings, committee meetings, virtual meetings. And I remember vividly Tuesday at our meeting, looking at her and thinking, wow, she looks really pretty today. Not that she had on a nice blouse or her hair was done or anything like that. It was just something about her face, the way that she looked, just looked beautiful to me. I actually had two meetings with her on Tuesday, and yeah, but she was really quiet also on Tuesday. So yesterday, which was Wednesday, um, I woke up and got myself ready for the day and went to my office and got situated. And I noticed I had a phone call that just came in, and it was from her. So I answered the phone and just said, good morning, and it wasn't her voice on the other end. Hmm. It was the voice of her dearest friend, and she said, "No, Sherri, this is not her. She's no longer with us." Hmm. I I couldn't believe it. it took me to another place. I mean, it made me forget what day it was. It was just, it just threw me for a tailspin. I mean, I was not expecting that call first thing in the morning. I wasn't expecting that call at any time during the day, but I got that call. They found her in her house at the top of the stairs, and she had been gone. Her daughter found her, her only child. We don't know the hour or the day. We don't. So it was up to me to contact, HR and everyone. And also I contacted all of the interns and apprentices. And oof, it's just at those moments when you know exactly what a person's life has been. A few months ago, at my daughter's school for homecoming coronation for the homecoming court, the father of the king of homecoming for the school spoke. They had all the parents speak, parents for the queen and the king. And something that the father said resonated with me. He said, when you are born to look like your parents. You look like your mother or your father or both. That's who you look like when you're born. When you die, you look like how you lived. You look like your life. And I think that's why on Tuesday during our meeting when I saw her, she looked so beautiful. And I realized even more when I was talking with our interns and apprentices and all the great things that they said, about her, how they just saw her last week. She dropped off some books and toys for their kids, or she sent them an email or a text message with, positive thoughts and encouragement. She lived a beautiful life. So I don't know who she looked like when she was born, but she died looking beautiful because that's the kind of life she led. We don't know the cause. She wasn't sick to our knowledge. God just does that sometimes, He just brings you home. I think she did have loneliness. Even though she had really good family, sorority sisters, a daughter, I think she was lonely. Sometimes people assume because you know so many people that you don't experience loneliness, but loneliness is a disease. It can be. In lonely times, it allows your mind sometimes to wander in places that are not healthy, that are not fulfilling, not supportive. Loneliness can make you feel cold and unwanted and unappreciated. Loneliness can definitely do a lot. And even though we had our team meetings and committee meetings and basically on a daily basis, that doesn't mean that filled the void in her life. I know that she really loved coming into the office. She loved being around people. And with this COVID, of course, we couldn't do that. So my charge to everyone today is to reach out to someone. It doesn't even have to be an elder. It could be just anyone. Reach out, give them a call, let them know you're thinking about them. Find out how they're doing. Ask, how are you doing? And mean it. Listen for the response. Be more thoughtful in your conversations. Be more authentic in your interactions with others. This time is something else. I'm so glad I didn't break down and cry. I was crying so hard before. Thought I cried my last tear, but it just is never ending. You know, we all have our legacies. We're developing our legacies every day that we live. Every encounter that we have with someone is part of our legacy. And I hope that she knows that the legacy that she left is living on in so many people. She's touched so many people. So many people have positive encounters with her. So as you go on about your day, go on about your life, consider your legacy. What is your legacy? What is the life that you're leading? And how is it impacting others? How will you look at the end? How will people speak of you at the end? Whenever someone passes, I always try to think, you know, what was my bond with them? What was my relationship with them? What is my takeaway from my experience with them? And my takeaway with my experience from her is to have more patience and compassion. More patience and compassion. You guys, I just really wanted to come out here to share this with you. I have been very numb. These, 20 is less than 48 hours. So these past 30 hours, I feel like everything is just, as long as we have life, this is what it is. None of us are going to get out of this one alive. So I'm not surprised of that. It's just, it still doesn't hurt any less. Doesn't make it less sad to know that death is inevitable. So I'm just taking this moment to just reflect, learn, and show my gratitude. I'm grateful to have known someone like that. Yeah, every day for 2.5 years, I probably spent more awakened hours with her than I did even with my family. She's not someone that I typically would have encountered. She probably would have been someone I would have met, but not have been in such close proximity with on a daily basis. I didn't always see the value in it when we were going and doing it and living it, but I see the value. And I'm grateful for that experience. Thank you guys for listening. And as long as you have life, live. Stay safe until we speak again. This has been Real Talk with Coach Sherri.